What argument? Who wants to win? Shut up.
No,
Yeah, I'm talking about humanity. I'm talking about
Why are
humanity.
you telling him to shut up? Here he is talking about humanity, telling another human being to shut up.
This is not science. This is not science.
The Quran is not science, you're right.
No. I'm not saying Quran.
So you're saying that all the embryologists are wrong and the Quran is right?
Yeah.
Based on what learning?
Right? Oh. You want to debate, you go to the other brothers who
Wait, which one?
Demolish you.
Which one?
Mohammed Hijab.
Runs! Mohammed runs! Runs! They run! Bring them! So you do support Hamas?
I support their right to defend
Do you
themselves.
know that it is illegal to vocalize support for a terrorist organization in the UK?
Terrorists.
They are a prescribed terrorist organization.
Zionists are terrorists.
You've literally just
Zionists
broke the
are
law on
terrorists.
camera. Right?
Repeat the reference.
Surah 2:259.
You can't read the translation and say this is the Qur'an.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't. It's
Yeah, I
nothing to do. Actually, the words are completely different in the Qur'an. It's
Yeah,
completely different.
exactly. Which is why Islam is about Arabization.
The Qur'an came down in Arabic. You can't. It came down in Arabic.
And what good is that to you? You can't read it.
I can understand it though.
Nobody, Yanko can read Arabic.
I can understand it.
Yanko can read Arabic.
He can read Arabic.
Yeah, let read Arabic.
اقرأ كويس.
اقرأ Arabic. He can read.
Okay, well, which one do you want me
Right,
to read?
let-
We're going to read
let-
it in Arabic though.
2:259. Hold on, wait a second.
I'll translate it in Arabic because every translator has their own way of translation.
Okay, so we want that we're focusing in on this passage in 2:259, and it says, "And thus we have made of you a sign for the people. Look at the bones, how we bring them together and clothe them with flesh."
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right.
But what's wrong with that?
It's completely factually false.
How's it false?
Because embryology, yes, embryology, the study of embryology, right, basically demonstrates that flesh and bones grow together at the same time.
No, actually, the bones
Quran,
are clothed with flesh.
no, you're wrong.
No, I'm not wrong.
You're
God
absolutely
isn't wrong.
yes, he
was
is.
one
The
who
Quran
made
is
you.
wrong.
Let me see.
Quran is wrong.
Yeah.
What
It says
from here?
we bring them together and clothe.
اقرأ بالعربي. Sorry.
When is that?
أي صورة هذا؟ أي صورة؟
Let them read the
مش عارف. I bet the Quran is wrong.
It is wrong. It is wrong.
Yanko read Arabic.
Read in Arabic. Read in Arabic.
From here.
Yeah, we look at the bit about bones and flesh. Bones and
عن
flesh.
لما ربنا بيحكي إنه لبس العظم في الفlesh.
انظر الى الحمار كيف this is from Jewish people
It's not. اقرأ العربي.
It's not actually.
Jewish people
لا.
أنت الثاني.
تاع الحمار هذاك اللي مال العظام اوكي اقول لك انظر الى حمارك انظر الى حمارك
Can we all stop grabbing my Quran? Let's remember this is my Quran.
Read it in Arabic.
No problem.
Please read it. The one
Wait,
where
from where?
We're talking with
From
a bit
where?
with a bit where it says we bring them together and clothe them. Sorry, and we have made of you a sign for the people. Look at the bones, how we bring them together and clothe them with flesh.
Yeah, that is how it is. Bones
No, it
and then
isn't.
flesh.
No, it isn't. It comes from the menosome.
انظر الى حمارك
It comes. You don't know. Do you know embryology? You don't, do you?
God tells us embryology in the Quran.
And gets it
All of
wrong.
is right.
And gets
All
it
of
wrong.
right.
No,
All
he
of
gets
is
it wrong.
right.
Gets it
God
wrong.
said it 1400 years ago.
Google
All of
it
turned
right
out to
now.
be right.
Google it right now. I challenge any of you. Google it right now. Bones and flesh grow together at the same time. The Quran gets it
No, it
wrong.
doesn't.
Yes, it does.
What's wrong? What's right?
شو يوسف؟
Are you Muslim? Okay. So your Quran, which is meant to be from Allah, that is meant to know what he's talking about, that is free from error, says that bones come first and then flesh comes second.
Yeah.
Agreed?
What's right? I mean.
There's nothing right about that. It's completely wrong.
What's right? I mean, I'm speaking about medicine. What's right in medicine and in biology?
No, we've moved on now. We've moved on.
I'm speaking about embryology.
Yeah. Yeah. So bones, the Quran is saying that the bones come first. And then the flesh.
I mean, what science talking about?
So,
Science, I mean
the study of embryology
Yes.
One guy
says that flesh and
around
bones grow
long time,
at the same time. They
and
come
he
from the
sees
same
no
place,
people here. He asks
right?
Allah.
So the Quran is describing embryology wrong, inaccurately.
Can I read it in English?
Allah
Because
said
let me
him
just read
to
a bit in
sleep.
Yeah.
English. One
Long
second.
time.
So God
When he
says,
got up, he
look
said,
at it, wait,
how
hold
long do
on.
you sleep? He
Or like
said,
God who
2
passed by
days,
town and it
He said,
was
no.
tumbled on the street. He said, oh, how will
100
Allah
years.
ever bring it to
Oh,
life
no,
after it's
they
dead? So
said,
Allah
look,
caused him to
donkey.
die for
He's
100
dead,
years,
yeah?
then
And
raised
the
him up again.
donkey
He said,
start
how long
to-
did you remain
start
dead?
to,
The man said, perhaps I remained dead a day or part of a day. He said, nay, you have remained dead for 100 years. Look at your food and your drink. They show no change. Look at your donkey. And thus we have made of you a sign for the people. Look at the bones, how we bring them together and clothe them with flesh. When this was clearly shown to him, he said, oh, I know now that Allah is able to. So he's talking about a story of a man who was asleep for 100 years.
Yeah.
And then God says that his
How long is
donkey,
sleeping?
that he clothed his flesh, talking about his donkey, giving
So,
him a
so it's not
sign.
talking about people, it's
No,
talking
he's-
about
he's
his
talking-
donkey.
Yeah, he's talking
just-
about the
just-
sign.
Okay. I mean, I disagree with her completely, but just to be polite, I'm going to let that one slide. But let's just point out that the Quran says exactly the same thing in another verse. So if we go to 23, Surah 23, Ayah 12. Surah 23. Are you listening, bro? Surah 23, Ayah 12.
What does it say, Bob?
And indeed, we created man, Adam, out of an extract of clay, water and earth. Thereafter, we made him the offspring of Adam as a nufta, mixed drops of male and female sexual discharged and lodged it in a safe lodging womb of the woman. Then we made the nufta into a clot, a piece of thick coagulated blood. Then we made the clot into a lump of flesh. Then we made out of that little lump of flesh bones, and then we clothed the bones with flesh. Your Quran gets embryology wrong. Go and speak to any embryologist, anywhere in the world, and they will tell you that flesh and bone grow together at the same time.
You know, the embryology now is underdeveloped. Embryology, I mean, it's not everything's embryology is right.
Yeah.
Embryology
It's wrong.
is wrong. I mean, embryology is wrong. It's not everything's right.
Brother, if you right, he says that embryology is wrong, right? He says that we're going to discover. He's trying to suggest at some point in the future we're going to discover that bones grow first and then flesh.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you need to take up your argument with people like Dr. Joseph Needham. You need to take up your argument with people like Dr. Keith Moore. You need to take up your argument with Dr. P.Z. Myers. These are three embryologists. And they are all telling you, having studied embryology, that your Quran is wrong.
You have to wait.
Or you could use your reason,
No.
or you could use your reason and see that the
I'm gonna
Quran is
bring
wrong.
you someone really good to talk to because I'm not that good at speaking.
Bring them, I'd love to meet them.
This story, we
I wanted
talk
to
about
say
the baby
something.
in the...
Embryology now is under development. Embryology.
No.
I mean, no, I know that. This is not science. This is not science.
The Quran is not science, you're right.
No. I'm not saying Quran.
So you're saying that all the embryologists are wrong and the Quran is right?
Yeah.
Based on what learning? Have you studied embryology?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
And you're telling me, can we get this guy on camera?
Yes, sir.
Right.
He's on camera.
Please tell your credentials to the camera.
What I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, you're going to tell them that you've studied embryology.
And you are
Okay.
saying all those doctors
And all the
they
medical
are
world
false
is
and
wrong.
you are right.
Is medical wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
No,
He
I
said
said
you are right.
I said embryology is under development.
What medical school did you study at?
I said it in Sudan, not here.
Which university in Amsterdam? Because we're going to contact them. Which university in Amsterdam? Which lecturer says that this embryology is wrong?
You have to wait. In the future, I mean, in the future.
Why are you shy? Why are you shy?
What?
In the future?
Yeah, in the future. I mean, embryology is the science and
Like
development.
how long? How long in the future?
No. It's not. I don't know.
See, the millions and millions of doctors in the world.
Can I?
And
Yeah.
they
Exactly.
They know the embryology.
Right. Let me just give you a very quick education in biology. human biology, in terms of embryology, right? The bones and the flesh grow together from what's called the mesoderm.
Good.
Right? They grow from that.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Right? So if you knew that they grew together, one second, if you knew that they grew together, why are you trying to say that the biologists are wrong? PZ Myers, he's an embryologist. This is how he describes the Quran. It's embryology. This is how he describes the Quran. He describes the Quran as vague and fuzzy and basically stealing from Aristotle. Yes, basically stealing from Aristotle, yes. Would you like to have a conversation?
Come here.
You know the Arabic language.
So you can just film me? No, I'm standing here so you're not on camera.
You know Arabic language?
No.
Okay.
Step forward and start speaking.
Where you get all this claim from?
Right, so you've asked me the question.
Say from where they make a comment.
Excuse me. If you're going to interrupt.
What was the question, Bob?
So she asked me, where did I get this information from? Yeah.
I'm listening.
So, where I got it from, in terms of the translation given by the Quran.
Translation, right?
Are you listening? Yes.
Yeah.
You're listening? Wait, are you just going to interrupt?
Who is translating?
Ask Uncle. Look, if you're right, okay, I'm just going to speak to the crowd then. Since the sister doesn't want to listen to the answer to the question, she asked me, where did I get the information from?
That was the question.
In terms of the translation, I got the translation from Dr. Mohammed Taqi-uddin Al-Hilali and Dr. Mohammed Mushin Khan from Islamic University, Al-Madinah. Where's Al-Madinah? Saudi Arabia. Do you think that two doctors studying in a Saudi Arabian university may have a grasp on the Arabic language? Do you think that these linguists who have been entrusted by the government of Saudi Arabia to translate the Quran into English may be competent to do so? And if they are competent to do so, then we can hold that their translations are accurate. She needs to learn some manners. So, as for the description about embryology, I got my sources from Dr. P.Z. Myers of the American University of Minnesota and Dr. Joseph Needham. And they describe embryology. An embryology that they describe demonstrates that this Quran is in error. It is in error. I'm not. Dr. M.C. Myers is saying it's in error. Right. Sister, would you like to have a conversation now?
I can.
Okay, wait, listen.
Okay.
Listen. As you can see, if you interrupt me, I just start shouting. If you would like to have it, 1 second. If you want to have a conversation, the way that this has to go is that it has to be that you allow me to speak if you ask a question. Okay. So then, what are you doing right now? What are you doing right now?
I said now, Mike.
What are you doing right now?
If you don't answer,
would you like to have a conversation? Shall we time it? Would you like to time it?
I'm asking.
Okay.
I'm asking.
Okay.
Listen.
Can you stand here so we can both see your watch? Right? Stand here so we can both see your watch. We're going to give her 3 minutes to talk.
Not 3 minutes. And it's
How long?
10 seconds only.
Okay. And I'm going to have 3 minutes.
You're making a claim in the book which you don't know the language. All you have is someone said, Fulana said from Medina, from Saudi Arabia. Now, how you can be truthful in this claim which you don't know even the language?
Okay, so allow me to reply. She's asked a question. Now that means that she has to listen to the answer. Arabic have the right to speak about Islam. I have this right. The right that Muslim scholars translate the Quran into English. I'm using their translation. I have that right. I also have the right that Muslims in the park regularly come to the park attacking the Christian faith when they don't know a word of Greek. So why the double standards? And notice she interrupted. Notice she interrupted. So, Dr. Mohammed Taqi-ud-Din Al-Halili, he knows the Arabic. Dr. Mohammed Mushin Khan, he knows the Arabic. I'm using their translation. Yes, I am. I am using their translation. Now listen to them argue for Arabization. You have to go to Saudi Arabia to learn about this religion. Arabization, Arabization, Arabization. We don't need Arabization. The Christian faith allows the Somali to be Somali, allows the Eritrean to be Eritrean, allows the Syrian to be Syrian, allows the Pakistani to be Pakistani, allows the English to be English. But the Muslims, when they see criticisms of their book, they say you have to Arabize. You have to learn the Arabic, pray in Arabic, to an Arabic city, copying an Arabic man. So, again, would you like to have a conversation? Would you like to have a conversation? What language is the Bible? The Bible was originally written in Greek and Hebrew. However, we Christians believe that the Bible can be translated into English. We believe in that.
Who brought down the Bible and the
when international language is English.
Okay. Do you want me to answer that question? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Where's your evidence?
Do you speak?
Where is your evidence for any of these claims?
No. Then you are.
God doesn't tell you that in the Quran. No, he doesn't. But that's getting off the point that I'm making. I'm afraid your champion just wanted to shout, not to talk.
Your scholar, they have translated this Arabic into English. So international language is English. So we are going to understand.
Okay, the question is, Uncle Asif, maybe take the conversation with her somewhere else. Yeah? Yeah, so the reality is, guys, the question is, why was the Bible written in Greek when Rome came first? Well, the brother gets his history wrong. Greek civilization dominated the Mediterranean before Roman civilization. Alexander the Great had an empire before the Roman Empire. Secondly, when he occupied the Middle East, he Hellenized it. And the lingua franca at the time of Jesus was Koine Greek. You just don't know your history. So, I'd like to ask you this question. I'd like to ask you this question. You believe that the Quran is from God, it's not got any errors in it? Right. Okay. So, the Quran teaches something that we know to be false. I'm going to show you. Have you got a Quran? Would you like to see this in your Quran? Okay, I'm going to read it to you.
The Quran teaches something to be false.
Yeah. So in Surah 23, reading from Ayah 14, yeah. Surah 23, Ayah 14. Right, it reads this. Are you listening? Yeah. Shall we just move back a bit since they're having their conversation? Let's. Oh no, we can't. Let's. Yeah.
Just show me, because I want to know.
Yeah, I'm going to show you. So in your Quran, it teaches this. In Surah 23, Ayah 14, then we made the nufta into a clot. I'm going to skip the brackets. And then we made the clot into a lump of flesh. And then we made out of that little lump of flesh bones. Then we clothed the bones with flesh. Right? That's what your Quran says. Okay? That's talking about embryology. Right? Every embryologist anywhere in the world will tell you that that's wrong. Bones and flesh grow together. Bones do not grow first. Bones and flesh grow together. It actually doesn't even ossify initially. It's just cartilage.
I understand that, but
So the Quran is wrong.
it's not.
Are you?
The thing is,
No, it's a translation.
sorry, when you read the Quran from every in Albania, the best view in Albania is the same, but it's different. His word is different. It's right interpretation.
So you don't have any correct source of the Quran.
It's Arabic. You have to know Arabic.
You've got to
So
Arabize.
how do you know that the Arabic one says something different? You don't know.
Just you can trace it back.
You don't know.
If the Arabic version says something.
Can you read Arabic?
Not so much.
Right. So this brother's just busted you. Now let's listen to his logic. Listen to his logic. I said I read a translation given by Arab scholars. Right? Listen. Will you just listen?
You can't generalize those.
Oh my gosh! I'll show you the scholars. Let me, brother. Let me, because you're right. You've busted him, but now he doesn't want to listen. Listen. You said which scholars? I'm showing you my scholars. Dr. Mohammed Taquddin Al-Hilali, Dr. Mohammed Mushin Khan, Islamic University, Al-Madinah, Saudi Arabia. Okay? It's in Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh. Okay, these are my scholars. So I have given you a translation. Are you listening? I have given you a translation from Arab Muslim scholars. Now you wait. It's just no. You're just not listening, are you? You're just not listening. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to the camera because this guy's not listening. So this brother just busted this guy. Because he pointed out that the Albanian Muslim said that the Quran was not wrong. And he said it was not wrong because it's just a translation. But then I asked him, does he know Arabic? And he said, not so much. So on the one hand, we have translations given by Saudi, Arab, Muslim linguists. And on the other hand, we have an ignorant Albanian Muslim arguing for Arabization, telling me that the Quran is right when he doesn't know Arabic and he doesn't know embryology. That is how close-minded he is.
Okay, final words, Bob.
So,
What happened there, Bob, from the beginning?
I implore you, if you're a Muslim listening to this, what you've seen again and again and again are Muslims in a very close-minded way simply saying that these arguments are not valid without considering them. And they're frightened to consider them. If I'm wrong, prove me wrong. If I'm wrong, bring the evidence. There you go. What you see in a microcosm here in the corner is what awaits us all if we lived in an Islamic society. Not one of them has an argument to my argument. So what would your response be to this? What would your response to this? This is your book. It's your book. Are you not a Muslim? It's not a Muslim. Are you not a Muslim? Fair enough. Maybe he's not a Muslim. He says hypocrite. But where's his prove it?
Tell me when the Christians went to Africa, why did they say?
Is this the Quran?
Why did they say?
Is this the Quran?
Why did your Christian people,
Is this the Quran?
European Christians, come to Africa and say, close your eyes and pray to God.
I can hear
when
you,
the
Lee. I'm not
Africans
deaf.
closed their eyes,
I'm not
the
deaf.
land was gone.
I'm not
so
deaf.
don't
I'm
tell
not
me, hypocrite.
And what about the Arab Islamic empires
They were pagans.
that conquered North Africa? Pagans. So it was all right when they were pagans. He's wearing a Palestinian t-shirt. But yeah, here he is justifying the Arab empires that conquered African lands, European lands, other Arab Christian lands, Jewish lands, Hindu lands, Buddhist lands, and then he has the cheek to call us hypocrites. He's a hypocrite. He's talking about colonialism and he doesn't reject Islamic colonialism. What about the Islamic conquest of boo-hoo? There you go. Who's the hypocrite? Free Egypt. Free Syria. Free North Africa.
Tell the truth.
Free Palestine from Hamas. Free Palestine from Hezbollah. Free Palestine from the Islamists. Free Afghanistan from the Islamists. This is the hypocrisy. He's here talking about Israeli colonialism. He's completely blind to Islamic Arab colonialism. The conquest and enslavement and the destruction of communities that were not Islamic. They occupied Christian Spain. They occupied Christian Asia Minor. They occupied Christian Syria. They occupied Zoroastrian Persia. They occupied Christian Egypt. They occupied Christian Nubia. And then they have the cheek to talk about European colonialism. Then they have the cheek to tell us that we should feel guilty about European colonialism. But we gave up the colonies. They've never gave up their empire. They've never said sorry to the Copts. They never said sorry to the Nubians. They never said sorry to the Arab Christians. They never said sorry to the Persians. We don't need moral lectures from hypocrites like this. We don't need lectures from hypocrites chanting Free Palestine when they support terrorists killing Christians. Hamas, Hezbollah. Do you support Hamas? Do you support Hamas? See? Frightened to answer the question. Frightened to answer the question. I can answer it very easily. I don't support Hamas. Do you support Hamas, JC? Do you support Hamas? Do you support Hamas? Is that a yes or a no? Do you support Hamas? Okay, so maybe we've got a Hamas supporter here. Do you support Hamas? Doesn't want to say anything. You see, if you don't support Hamas, it's really easy to say you don't. And you can still talk about the crimes of Israel. Try freeing the Christians of Egypt, or the Christians of Syria, or the Christians of Lebanon. Don't lecture us about Israel. What about the jihad in South Sudan that killed 2 million Africans?
How about the settlers?
Do you condemn it? What about the Arabization?
When you're Christian,
what about the Arabization of South Sudan? Yes, yes.
You are a terrorist.
Do you see the difference? I condemn it. Do you condemn the targeting of civilians in Israel by Hamas?
All.
No. You said no.
I said all.
All civilians.
Oppression, I support that.
So do you condemn Hamas for targeting civilians in Israel? Do you condemn it? Do you? Do you condemn it?
You evil.
Do you see why we don't need lectures? You don't need lectures. Stand up to this narrative. It is a lie. What about the Armenian genocide? What about the Greco-Assyrian genocide? Why aren't they condemned?
Ask Bob, right?
Talk
He's a
about
real-
these things,
real Christian.
Christians.
What happened to Jesus? Who killed Jesus?
This is-
Yeah?
And have you does that argument?
What argument? What to win? Shut up. Yeah, I'm talking about humanity. I'm talking about
Why
humanity.
are you telling him to shut up? Here he is talking about humanity, telling another human being to shut up.
He's talking to me.
Calling another human being a
You are
This is
He's not. What happened to Jesus?
He answers your questions, but you can't answer his questions.
exactly.
No.
Who's the You can't answer the question. Who's the Answer the question.
Who killed Jesus?
The Jews did.
Several of your
I
questions.
Jews did.
can't really hear you, Bob.
The Jews of the first century were responsible for killing Jesus Christ.
Why?
Why? Because Jesus Christ claimed to be greater than the temple. He claimed to be their God, and they considered this blasphemy.
Free Palestine.
From Hamas. Free Palestine from Hamas. Free Lebanon from Hezbollah. Free Syria from ISIS. Free Egypt from the Muslim Brotherhood. Free Nigeria from the Fulani and Boko Haram. Free South Sudan from the Janjaweed. All of these groups are Islamist terrorists. All of them. Every single one. And these people who support Hamas are supporting terrorists who target civilians. And if they will justify terrorists in Palestine, they will justify terrorists in Nigeria, in Sudan, and in the United Kingdom, and in France.
You just said it yourself.
Don't believe the lie.
Don't believe the lie.
Stand up for yourselves against these Islamist apologists.
You're funny, Bob. You just said it yourself. The Jews killed Jesus.
And so should I hate Jews today?
No.
There we go.
No one hates Jews.
No one hates
They hate
Jews.
the Zionists.
Hamas hates Jews.
No, they don't.
In their charter, they don't say Israel, they say Jews. They say Jews. Their charter represents them. Their charter represents them. No, I don't.
Thank you. So
But their charter does. Does their charter represent them? Does their charter represent them? Do you see? He's frightened to answer the question. He's frightened to answer the question.
No one hates Jews.
Does their charter represent them?
No.
No, it doesn't. So this is their illogical thinking.
Hamas's charter
So
represents them.
Hamas's charter, oh does it? Does it now?
No,
It doesn't.
they don't hate
So
Jews, they
Hamas's
hate the Zionists.
charter does not represent them. But the Hamas's charter talks about fighting the Jews until the end of time.
Arabs have lived together for centuries.
That's what the Hamas
People
charter
like you have
says.
no clue about what's going on.
Could we maybe
Only
find the
people that
charter?
Hamas don't like are the Zionists. Same as us. Thank you. Sorry?
Still we got the key of the Holy Sepulchre Church in the Muslim hand of Muslim family.
Which is the shame to the
What would
Christians.
happen
You're
if
Zionist,
we had
not
the
Christian,
key
my friend.
of the Dome of Iraq in the hand of a...
They'd never allow it.
Christian? No.
They'd never allow
No. So who's a hypocrite here?
He is.
No, hold on a second.
He
Hold
is.
on a second. You've taken
He
people
is.
out of their homes. You've murdered
I-
kids. You are their representative. Apparently, the second you're Hamas's representative.
yes, you and your
the
people.
second setting.
So Hamas has taken people out of their homes.
No.
You
The
just said I'm
Zionists
Hamas's
No,
representative.
1 second you speak on the Hamas's behalf because you want to speak ill against them. The second,
Do you support Hamas?
I support their right to defend themselves.
So
yeah.
you do support
Just like
Hamas?
I support their right to defend
Do you
themselves.
know that it is illegal to vocalize support for a terrorist organisation
They're
in the
not
UK?
terrorists.
They are a prescribed terrorist organisation.
Zionists are terrorists.
You've literally just
Zionists
broke the
Zionists
law
are
on
terrorists.
camera.
Yeah,
You just broke the law on camera.
Thank you.
Whoever his employer is, you have a terrorist supporter in your ranks. You have a terrorist supporter in your ranks.
Idiots talking nonsense.
Yeah, nonsense.
And what does Hamas do?
Build shit.
They target civilians indiscriminately.
Not like you talk so much
They hide their infrastructure among civilians.
Palestinians have as much
They
right to defend themselves.
use Palestinians as human shields.
No, they don't. It's a
Hamas
factual.
persecutes Christians
CNN
in Gaza.
Israel is using the children as defense because they are terrorists. Israel terrorists, yeah?
I don't support Israel.
You support Zionists.
No, I don't. No, I don't. You see, in your simple mind, you only have two sides. You're either pro-Palestine and anti-Israel, or you're pro-Israel and you're anti-Palestine. What you don't realise about me, there's videos to prove this. Over the last couple of weeks, I've done talks before this conversation where I've condemned Israel.
For what?
For its actions against Palestinians.
What actions?
And we've got them on camera.
What actions?
But also, I condemn Hamas for its targeting of Jews and for its persecution of Christians.
What actions of Israel?
No, I don't need to jump through your hoops.
That's my case.
I don't hate Muslims.
You do. Once again,
your ignorance only has two boxes. You're either an Islamophile or an Islamophobe.
What actions of...
So why do you hate us?
Apparently he's been quiet.
What?
I don't. That's just what you believe.
No.
That's what you believe.
Israel you don't like that you've gone against.
So much hatred.
You've spoken so much against.
Show me a video.
Love you much.
Show me a video.
What happened?
Show me proof.
Just now. You was talking right now.
Did anyone hear me say anything that was talking about Muslims? No. Anyone?
Okay, that's your...
Right, so what did I say?
That's your Zionist brother. He doesn't speak at the moment because he's silent but deadly, but let's see in the future.
He said no.
Can you answer one question?
So what did I say that showed that I hated Muslims?
Everything. How you
Show me.
about...
Tell me.
Tell you?
Yeah.
You was just putting another Muslim down. You don't know. Why do you have to put Muslim...
Wait, hold on.
Why?
Which Muslim did I put down?
You just did it. You just did it over there.
You mean I argued with a Muslim about Islam?
But why?
Because Islam is false.
How is it false?
Because you've asked a question.
If the Jews think
you've asked a question.
If the Jews think Jesus is false,
I know they do.
You shouldn't don't talk then.
Why do you keep obsessing about the Jews? Why is it every conversation we have you bring it back to the Jews?
Where did your religion come from then, Bob?
It's a Jewish religion.
Where did your religion
It's a Jewish
come from?
religion.
Be quiet then.
It's a Jewish religion.
Be quiet. Sit down and be humble.
What's wrong with that?
Sit down and be humble.
Is there something wrong with having a religion rooted in Judaism?
You're not speaking the truth.
Is there something wrong with having a religion rooted in Judaism?
You're not speaking the truth.
Okay. So you said Islam is wrong.
Bible so many times?
Do you want to have a discussion?
Why did they change the Bible?
Do you want to have a discussion? Do you want to have a discussion?
Read your Bible.
Do you want to have a discussion?
Go read your Bible.
Do you want to have a discussion?
Go read your Bible.
Yeah, shall we have a discussion?
Because at the end of the day, Bob, I'm not your biggest fan, yeah?
It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I'm not your biggest fan. I'm not your biggest fan.
I'm no one, Bob.
Yeah, I'm not your biggest fan.
But you think you're someone big.
Not
with
really.
a little big voice.
Not really.
That's why I came.
If I was someone, I wouldn't be in Speaker's Corner. I'd be living in a nice Christian lifestyle somewhere else.
Other religions, just Islam.
No, I talk about my faith as well. Not really.
People are turning to Islam.
People are turning to Christianity.
No.
In Iran, thousands of them. In Sudan, thousands of them. Thousands of them. In Indonesia, tens of thousands of them. In Saudi Arabia right now there are churches. In Mecca, there are Christians praying to Jesus in Mecca. There are Christians praying to Jesus in Medina. The church is growing in Saudi Arabia. The church is growing in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. Would you like to have a conversation? Would you like to have a conversation?
By a priest.
Why are you so angry? Why are you so angry? Why are you so angry? Why are you so angry?
You worship the devil, my friend.
Now notice the Christophobic trope that we've heard multiple times here in the corner. Your priests abused you.
Maybe they did.
That's what they talk about. Now if we said that Muslims were terrorists, they'd accuse us of Islamophobia.
You already did.
But if they point out this generalization about our religious class, the priests, they don't think it's Christophobia. You see, if you buy into that anti-Christian trope, you're a Christophobe. You're guilty of a prejudice. You're an ignoramus. You're an ignorant man. And what we've got here are two ignorant people who assume
you're not happy
that because
you've been
there are some paedophile priests, that all priests are paedophiles.
Your religion is
What
for
about
children.
teachers? What about imams in the mosque that abuse children?
Hundreds of thousands of children in Afghanistan. The boys in Afghanistan. Hundreds of thousands of children.
What about the boys getting buggered in Afghanistan? So would you like to have a conversation? Would you like to have a conversation?
You call us
Would you like to have a conversation?
I'm telling you, your Christianity
Would you like to have a
is full about
conversation?
touching children in the church.
So apparently, this is the new level of ignorance amongst the Muslims. We know, he says, that your religion is all about touching little children. That's what the Muslim just said. How is that not Christophobia emanating from the Muslim community?
That's Christophobia!
Christophobe! He's a Christophobe!
What you done is so much.
What's the age of consent in Oman? 9. Do you want to go? Do you think that's okay? Do you think it's okay? Why do you run away? Why do you run away? Why do you run away? Intellectually you are. Yes, you are. Because when I try to have a conversation, no, you're actually multiple levels beneath where I'm trying to be. You're pulling me down. You're pulling me down. You are. You're pulling me down. And to be honest, I've bitten long enough, so now I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. Yeah, I'm going to stop.
You don't like to bring this energy, I won't bring this energy to you.
Bro, we can have a conversation.
You're not having a conversation.
I'm offering you a conversation, but you run from a conversation. Do you know why you run from the conversation? Because in your words, you're an intellectual. You run. You're an intellectual. You are. You're an intellectual coward. You're an intellectual coward. Bro, you are running. You're running. You're running. I'm challenging you. You're running. Why are you running? 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 I'm challenging you to a timed debate. 4 minutes for you, 4 minutes for me. Calm conversation.
I tell you,
Go and run.
I'm the one who to debate with, right?
Oh.
You want to debate, you go to the other brothers who
Wait, which one? Which one?
Mohammed Hijab!
Runs! Mohammed is runs! 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 They run! They run! Bring them! Bring them! Bring them! I'll wait here! I'll bring them! Bring Mansour! I'll debate him! Bring them! Bring them! Bring them! Bring them! Bring Mohammed Hijab, Shamsi, Mansour, bring them here! I'll debate them!
In the name of Christ.
You're running, bro. You're an intellectual coward. You're just hot air. You're just wind. It's all flatulence, mate. It's just flatulence. It's just flatulence. Do you want to debate that? Do you want to debate whether I've got nothing on Islam? Do you want to debate that? Okay, you're running, bro. You're running. You're running. Okay, JC, gonna take a break? Then I'll come back and I'll do some talks.
Abusing the children. That's what it's about. All the children
abuse people like you.
Well, you had your chance. You had your chance.
I'm sure.
You had your chance.
I'm not here for the cameras, my friend. I'm not here for the cameras. I'm here for you, bro.
You had your chance.
I don't care. I still follow you.
That's fine.
Because I'm not here for the
Follow
cameras.
me over here. I'll buy you a cup of tea.
I'm not here for the cameras.
That's all right.
Yeah? I'm just, look.